remorphish, and then the remorphish diagram a perfect simulation of a pick and roll leading to a dive to the basket.
Wow, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
You see, you got to take it. You got to take it to that next step. If you're going to use sharks, go to the whole world of the sharks, man. The remora fish live at the whim of that shark, and they eat the detritus of the shark, so they will do the shark's bidding. So the shark tells the remora fish what plays the diagram.
That's I can see it in my head, and that means it's a good idea.
Norbert.
All right, so who's your coach on the? We don't know who it is yet, but the UAs. Who's your coach?
Okay, so the unexpected assault from parts unknown. # we come out of nowhere. Our coach, I am leaning towards the guy who was the doctor of the girl in the ring, because clearly that dude knew that chick was off, but he just couldn't resist doing the experiments anyway, just to kind of see where it goes. Because clearly, okay, that little girl was murdering people with her eyes. Mm-hmm. She had the resting bee face, shall we say, except it was lethal. So clearly, even though in the movie, supposedly nobody died at that facility, I think that's crap. I'm pretty sure that, where's Steve the janitor? Oh, I don't know. He was cleaning out Samara's room the last time I saw him, and she's just standing there in front of the clock, moving back and forth,
That's our 8th janitor this month.
Exactly. The doctor literally says to her in one scene, "You don't want to hurt anyone." And she goes, "But I do, and I'm sorry. It won't stop." Now, any real nice doctor at that point would have been like, "Okay, Samara, just a second." Press the mute button. "Okay, so we're going to just put this girl on all the Thorazine and tie her up as tightly as possible. Put her in a deep, dark room." But he was just like, "Okay, Samara, so what happened on your 3rd birthday?"
Yeah, I'm not going to change, guys. I'm going to keep murdering people.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so clearly, in terms of people who are just evil as hell, that are very smart and could obviously diagram an out-of-bounds play with 3 seconds left on the clock to win the game. Yeah, I think he's got the ability.
Super optimistic. You're not going to shake him. When you guys could have clinched the playoffs, but you lost and you have one game to get in, he's like, "We'll be fine. We'll be great. This is perfect. We got this."
It's no problem. One day I was going to get a sandwich from the conference room, and I saw that Samara had defenestrated one of my assistants. And I asked her, how did she feel about that? And she said, "It won't stop." And I said, "Okay, Samara, here's a cookie." So yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. So when we lose by 2 to the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, we'll be back next year. Or they won't. Dun, dun, dun.
Most of my staff will be back next year, I think. Have you seen my assistant?
I sent Samara to talk to the coach of the Knicks, so we'll see what happens next year. Dun, dun, dun.
Now, why are you hiring for towel boys every day? What's going on with this team here?
Samara feeds on the tears of the innocent. It's okay, because there are plenty of towel boys around. It's just good data for research.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Totally morally bankrupt because he knows people are being murdered, but he's very optimistic.
Yeah, because you got to get those results, man, no matter what.
I'm looking forward to hearing your team. I want to see who he's working with to kind of keep them moral.
Okay.
All right. So.
Okay, so let's.
Want to start with centers?
Okay. So at center, number 86.
Number 86? Okay.
Lingua Foreda Acaransis, a.k.a. the Xenomorph, a.k.a. the Queen Alien, standing at least 12 feet tall with 4 arms and whatever the hell is coming out of her back. No one is getting to the hole without at minimum losing an arm or 2.
Everything.
You can't get, okay? You can't get past the Queen, number 1, because she's literally taller than the basket. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, oh, you're going to try to throw an elbow? Her skin is chitinous, man. And anytime she gets cut, not only does she leak acid blood, but her cells seem to replace themselves with polarized silicon, making her a tough little SOB. So yeah, you're not getting into the paint without a little suffering.
Now, do you think that there will be a lot of, 3-second calls from this queen alien? Does she stay immobile under the basket? Are you moving her out a little bit so you don't get those penalties called? Like, what's your plan with this queen alien to kind of prevent those?
Well, because of the new NBA laws regarding the zone, defensive 3 seconds, it does exist. And the queen alien, we know that she's smart enough to negotiate the life of herself and Newt for her children, and then smart enough to even be like, psych, I'm going to unleash a face hugger on you anyway, and how to use an elevator. So I think she could get the concept of every 3 seconds you need to move.
Got it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The mobility, we saw it run. I mean, and if we're using AVP too, just as a guide, I mean, that thing sprints through those whale carcasses like it's nothing.
That thing's making moves, man. Yeah.
On a fast break, it's getting up the court.
Yeah. I have seen the fastest NBA players with 3 seconds left on the clock take it end to end and make a layup. I think the queen's legs being magnitudes of order longer than the fastest NBA player, I say she makes it from end to end 94-50 court in 1.5, 2 seconds.
Okay, so I'm thinking this thing's a shot blocker. I know this is a deep reference, but like Andrei Kirilenko when his ankle wasn't exploded.
Oh, yeah. AK-47. He was the god.
Blocking shots, but he just flew around with such insanity that he always blew his ankle out.
He was insane.
I mean, you got 4 hands. You're not going to really get around it. I mean, you're not going to get to the basket. Now, what about goaltending?
Again, the queen is taller than the basket, so goaltending is probably going to be a problem, especially because of that crown thing coming out of the back of her head. That alone can just block all the shots. So, yeah, you're going to have to make sure that your team's three-point game or mid-range game is definitely in check.
Number 86. I love it. All
That's right.
We have the queen alien, the xenomorph as the center for your team. I'm going to go with 100%. A random one here. I'm going to say number 45. Oh, what were you going to say?
No, I said 100%. Go ahead. I agree with you.
So number 45, center, standing at 200 feet tall. It's the Jotun, the large troll from the end of Troll Hunter.
Now the queen versus the 200-foot troll. Woo, man.
And we know that it had rabies at the end. This one doesn't have rabies, right? And it chased all the other trolls out of their hiding spots, which added a lot of trouble for the people of Norway. So this troll, it's not the most mobile, but if you watch how fast it moves, like he has to drive a car after it, speeding to keep up with the thing. They have to floor it to stay ahead of it. So this thing could clear the court in 2 steps. So I'm thinking, put it. You don't have to worry about 3 seconds because it can stand on either side of the
half court line. Yeah, seriously.
The biggest thing you could probably dribble between its feet, and I don't know how its lower back will handle itself by bending all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with the 200-foot troll hunter is that every NBA arena has a giant jumbotron in the center. So, let alone the jump ball, okay? This guy's at the center, boom, hits the jumbotron, kills hundreds of spectators.
Yeah, that was a problem the first season.
You've been to Madison Square Garden before? He's going to push right into Rockefeller Center, for Christ's sake.
So I took that into account, and we realized that does affect some of the fast breaks, and opposite teams have been smushed. He took out the Trailblazers once with just one step. But I think just having this troll there, he's ancient, he's smart, it's wise, it's sneaky because it's been hiding for so long before it got rabies. But I just think that thing standing in front of the basket will really make it hard for opposing teams. 100%,
because they literally can't see the other end of the court. They wouldn't be able to see the other end of the court. Now, the problem being when the troll meets the queen in the All-Star game and he steps on her by accident, murdering her, not only is he going to have major third-degree acid burns, but the death of the queen will automatically call through the pheromones released, will automatically call the rest of the hive. Oof. So now the arena is a bloodbath because it's full of hundreds of aliens and facehuggers because they got to make a new queen.
How many people are in Madison Square Garden? What's the sellout?
Madison Square Garden holds about 20K, about 19,700.
So I would say maybe 1,000 would make it out of there during that attack.
You hope. But then the troll falls over because his foot is severely burned. And now, boom, he crashes through. He ends up on 7th Avenue. Suddenly, now we don't have any more Models. The hot dog cart guy is gone. Holy crap. Now bridge and tunnel crowd can't get back to Long Island because you messed up the Long Island Railroad.
Imagine that newspaper report. A 200-foot Jotun. Or what's the name of this troll? Let's say Sven Ogenfogen stepped on the Queen Alien, burnt its foot beyond belief, fell through it, and smushed 8 hot dog carts that were together meeting.
You got to keep it simpler for New York tabloids. It would be like Joltin Jokin, you know, and you would see the picture of the thing falling over. Because that's the New York Post and the Daily News. They make just terrible puns, you know, or Queen-tastic, you know, you see her putting the pharyngeal jaws through the heads of a fan.
This exploding heads every now and again.
Yes. Yeah.
If you miss this half-court shot, you will be fed to the Queen Alien.
Everything started off fine with the Knicks, and then number 86, the Queen, was distracted by a fan waving aside of one of her children, and she didn't like it, and she ran into the stands in a replay of the Malice in the Palace, and oh, there goes an arm!
You go home with a Queen Alien, or you go home with a facehugger, you go home with a facehugger.
Everyone goes home with a facehugger, yeah. So there's darkness in our hearts, yeah.
Well, the problem is, it takes one tiny thing. You can't have people running into the stands on this. Because it'll spiral with these villains on our team. Oh.
Yeah, to say that they're sociopaths is an understatement.
Right.
Because they only... Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I guess it'd be good to have the troll because the Queen Alien would look at it and just, I could maybe get it, but I'm not going to try.
These things have no concern for death, man. The hive is all.
Yeah, you're right.
The hive is all. And because the hive is on the court, the ball is all, man. The Queen wins.
I would love to be on a team with the Queen Alien because it just won't kill you. And you get little facehuggers walking around with towels and Gatorade bottles with their tails.
Oh, thank you. Gatorade Frost is my favorite flavor.
They have little jerseys on?
Number 86.
Oh, I love it.
Little Mets gloves, you know.
Oh, I love it. And then I guess I could have little trolls with the Jotun since he's basically the god troll. So little trolls are running around handing out towels on my squad. I love it. Who's your forward?
Okay. Power forward. All right. Number 27. The werewolves from Dog Soldiers.
Whoa, they're huge.
And that's the point. You need a bruising power forward to keep up with the potential violence and also the regenerative ability, quite frankly, to deal with the flails of potential acid blood. And werewolves, they can regenerate. We know from American Werewolf in London, Eddie Quist, he grew his arm back. The Dog Soldiers take some serious losses, and I figure they're at least 7-8 feet tall. They borrow their design from The Howling, which, you know, my favorite werewolf movie. You need a goon, a Kevin McHale type, a Charles Oakley type to just kind of bust you around and beat you up. But then again, they also have the finesse to get you that critical bucket in crunch time when they're surrounded by 3 dudes from the other team.
I mean, these things are athletic. They're fast. They could easily palm the ball because they have huge hands.
Clearly. Man, there is no way that you're running. You're not outrunning a werewolf.
Imagine blocking that in the low post.
Right? So now here you are trying to post up a werewolf, and oh, what's that? It's a claw through your kidney. You just turned the ball over, champ. Sorry.
I think it could really make a quick move to get around the troll, too, for some dunks.
Oh, definitely. You know, because they run not only like men, but also like wolves. So you're using 3 of your limbs to run, and the one, maybe the right or the left, to dribble. So the crossover possibility is off the charts.
I could see it draining a 3, too, like a Dirk-esque. I mean, Dirk had a lot of hair.
Hey, man, Bud, right? Oh. There's no rule that says dogs can't play basketball.
You're right. Oh, wow, that's perfect. You know what's funny, man? I can see this in my head now. It would definitely wear a headband.
That's right.
Little things around its hair.
Yeah, and those guys that come out and mop up the sweat, they would be super busy because the Dog Soldiers don't close their mouths, man. You know, werewolves always ruin.
Gunk everywhere on the floor. People be slipping everywhere.
That's right. So now we're not only a basketball team, but we're job creators. You need at least 3 times the number of people mopping the floor.
And since about 8 of them died during a game, we just need more. So there's a lot of work going around.
At least 8. Between the coach being the doctor from The Ring and the alien queen, just occasionally when your back is turned, just